saluti della nostra regione, proprio al nord della Scozia, e grazie per l'ospitalità ottima che abbiamo ricevuto appena arrivati ieri a Venezia. Siamo una regione sulla carta più grande del Belgio, ma con una popolazione meno di Bruxelles. Siamo alla periferia nord-ovest dell'Europa. Vi presento i miei colleghi David Haas e McInnes dal Consiglio delle Highlands, e poi Jack Howarth ed io, Linda Stewart, dall'università, ma dopo un po' più di questo. In pochi minuti vi presentiamo un po' del Consiglio e la città principale, Inverness, e poi dopo un po' dell'università nuova che comprende tutta la regione Highlands e Islands e ha un campo nella città di Inverness. Allora, David.
Computer didn't have his coffee yet, so just a few seconds we get back working.
Good afternoon. I'm David Haas. I'm the Inverness City Manager, and I have responsibility on behalf of the Highland Council to ensure that what we do as a council makes sense, not just for Inverness as a city, but for the whole community of the Highlands. Firstly, I'd like to thank our chairman today, the Council of Europe and the Earl of Dundee for this wonderful invitation and the chance to follow up on the objectives stated earlier by His Lordship. First of all, we'd like to know where we are. Well, Inverness is situated as far north as, in the same latitude as Gothenburg, very far north in Scotland. It's the most northerly city in the United Kingdom. We're proud of that fact. And it is a regional city, it has 66,000 people, and it serves a region the size of Belgium with a population of 223,000. So many of the presentations that we heard today are very, very helpful to us, and we're looking forward to making use of these opportunities that the presentations and meeting you today provides. Our principle is definitely that a successful economy assists harmony, and we've heard the speakers this morning reiterate that point. Our team objective is to show how the city of Inverness is forging growth and describe its place as a regional city with a new university for which we're very proud. We'd like to say how happy we are to work with you, and collaboration is our key to success. That's why we're joined with our UHI colleagues, and we want to show how we have, through this approach, been successful in establishing UHI, that's the University of the Highlands and Islands, and how the city is at the forefront of growth and development in Scotland. In particular, I'd like to talk about how we're developing innovative links between the public and private sectors in the development of tourism-related initiatives. Tourism is at the heart of the economy in the Highlands. It drives most things, and along with the public sector is one of the major employers in the region. And also how city-to-city collaboration in Scotland through the development of the Scottish Cities Alliance is helping to create the conditions for growth and to attract inward investment. As you can see in the accompanying slides, we have a world-renowned asset at our doorstep, Loch Ness, home to one of our most elusive residents, and I have to give apologies on behalf of Nessie. She couldn't be here today, but I'm afraid I'm a poor representation. Perhaps not too similar, I hope. It attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors, the Loch and the monster, annually to the city and its surrounding area. It's a huge importance. And combine this with our world-renowned products such as whiskey, instantly recognisable national symbols such as bagpipes and kilts, as well as close proximity to many of Scotland's top golf courses, and you have a high-quality tourism product, one we're proud of. So the question is, how do we maximise the impact of this for the benefit of tourists and local businesses? Across the country, destination marketing initiatives are normally undertaken by business groups operating on a voluntary basis. We're once again very proud that we were one of the first to create a tourism business improvement district. That makes use of Scottish legislation that allows a ballot of businesses to be held to decide upon the establishment of the organisation. If the ballot is successful, all businesses within the defined area and sectors are obliged to contribute financially for a defined period, normally 5 years. And we're proud to say that we've just established that for Inverness and Loch Ness. Essentially, that makes best use of the fact that Inverness is a regional hub and that Loch Ness is our biggest attraction. So we have to jointly market that together as an asset. This is the added benefit of giving the Tourism Business Improvement District a better opportunity to plan strategically and more certainly of funding, unlike other groups which have to collect membership fees and bid for funding on an annual basis. It is important to realise, and I know there are many bids across Europe, that in the UK, it's the only organisation other than the government, that's national and local, that can legally collect a tax. The range of activities proposed by the tourism bid is also broader than those undertaken by most other destination organisations in Ireland. Although most still fall into the same categories of destination, development and marketing, the main activities proposed by the Inverness tourism bid for the period 2014 to 19 are marketing and promotion, the marketing and promotion of Inverness and Loch Ness as one destination. Activity will target both consumers and the travel trade. Often we find that visitors do not realise the closeness of Inverness to Loch Ness. Another opportunity is conferences and business tourism. This is a huge industry for us. We're very good as a city at attracting large conferences, but there are many high-value mid-range conferences that we're not so good at getting, and we're looking to have a developing partnership between the business community and the local authority to attract more business. And we see that as a synergy across Europe. So attending events and using ambassadors to attract more conferences and business tourism all the year round is a key component. Events and festivals, we have an events and festivals program, and in fact are outside Edinburgh the only city to host a regular Hogmanay celebration, which you're all invited if you want to come. The date you should know, 31st of December. But we are the only city outside Edinburgh which has a world-famous celebration to host that type of event in Scotland on a regular basis. So, clearly we need to promote and support a range of new and existing events and festivals together with our colleagues in the private sector, and in particular improve links with businesses who can benefit from these. Business development, my colleague Kenneth will speak in more detail about this and in more detail about the 7 Cities Alliance, which I have a responsibility to drive forward together with my colleagues in the council, and Kenny's one of them. It's a very important alliance across Scotland, and together with the community and largely represented by the hospitality industry, the leisure sector, we must help grow businesses through business development, and the bid can do that through workshops, giving advice and helping collaborations along the lines of, for example, joint purchasing, reducing costs. Access and infrastructure. The bid will work with partners to improve the tourism infrastructure, most notably completing a circular walking trail around Loch Ness, so you have more chance to see the monster and maybe have a whisky on the way, and the creation of better stopping points and viewpoints for road travellers to Loch Ness. Lastly, the presence here today of representatives from Dubrovnik, a port with a significant volume of cruise ship trade annually, reminds me to also underline another key sector the Highland tourism offering, cruise ship visits. We can't underestimate the importance that 2,000 or 3,000 people visiting the Highlands each day and being renewed often daily through the summer makes to the economy, the local economy. And as I say, a successful local economy will drive well-being, will drive collaboration. Although Inverness Harbour receives few cruise visits directly, we've got a deep water port which also serves to support our improving and developing oil fabrication sector, is a significant cruise ship port, and many of their passengers visit the city and attractions in the surrounding area. Most notably, of course, Loch Ness and its visitor attractions, and Corner Castle, which was made famous by the story Shakespeare of Macbeth. That's where it was based. A key outcome from our meeting here today might also be to explore the potential for learning lessons in relation to the development of the cruise line of business, both in Inverness and the Highlands and in Croatia. I'll now hand over to my colleague McInnes to explain in detail how the city-to-city collaboration in Scotland, through the development of the Scottish Cities Alliance, is helping to create the conditions for growth and to attract inward investment. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, David. Inverness is a member of the Scottish Cities Alliance, a collaboration between Scotland's 7 cities and the Scottish Government. It's aimed at creating the conditions for growth and to attract inward investment. As a comparatively small country, much of Scotland's economic activity is driven by its cities. 51% of the population live within Scotland's cities. 50% of businesses in Scotland are based in cities. 58% of Scottish jobs are created within cities. 66% of GDA generated of the country's GDA generated within cities. And 86% of the population live in cities, or live within commuting distance of cities. Through collaboration, Aberdeen, Dundee, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Inverness, Perth and Stirling seek to develop a world-class infrastructure, attract inward investment and enhance Scotland as an attractive proposition to live and do business. For Inverness and the wider Highlands region, this offers the opportunity to collaborate on a wide range of activities based around the 3 main themes agreed by the Alliance, which are infrastructure. Each city has developed its own city investment plan, and these outline the city's key infrastructure development plans for the next 5 years and include proposals for developing residential, commercial, transportation, digital and city centre regeneration opportunities. The Inverness proposals concentrate on the promotion of 2 high-quality investment propositions, the Inverness campus and the Inverness Airport Business Park. And the development of a new town adjacent to the airport will also enhance the attractiveness of the area for the developer and investor community. Working closely with the Scottish Cities Alliance has allowed us to maximise our efforts to attract inward investment into our area, and we work closely at a national and international level. We gain benefits from working with larger cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow, which are higher profile international. We're also sort of looking within the council at sort of second sort of part of the city strategy, taking low carbon, and the Alliance is committed to promoting a low carbon agenda across all of its member cities. Inverness and the Highlands are well placed to participate as part of this, with the Council's Carbon Clever initiative, the key role of the Council's administration. This aims at having seen a carbon neutral Inverness as part of a low carbon Ireland by 2025. Moving on to smart cities, also looking at the final strand of the 3 themes set out by the Scottish Cities Alliance aimed at promoting economic growth is the development of a smart city agenda. This is work in its early stages, and the Alliance is developing its ideas with a view to utilising ERDF assistance towards the establishment of Scotland's 8th city, the smart city. Smart city, we're looking at utilising the vast amount of data held by a variety of public sources, commercial companies and citizens. We'll look at utilising this data in a variety of potential uses, such as developing health initiatives, improving visitor experience for tourists and enhancing transportation for both residents and visitors. It will also be important for the delivery of enhancing communications infrastructure throughout the city region. So, from a Highland Council perspective, what do we see is coming from this visit to Gorizia and participating with colleagues from other areas in Europe. We see the opportunity to develop cooperation opportunities, obviously, and we'll also particular opportunities to look around Croatia and Dubrovnik, and there's other opportunities as well. Opportunity to develop complementary business-to-business links in major service sectors. We can maybe look at how tourism sectors develop. Also big industry in Scotland and in the Highlands, and maybe that's the area where there's some opportunities for development with other cities and other areas. And finally, there's some potential for establishing an academic relationship between UHI and other participating academic institutions here today. It's a perfect opportunity for me to move on and introduce my colleagues from the University of the Highlands and Islands. And the tribe will have
While you start, thank you, Kenny and David, and Kubi and Kelcher, which is perhaps unfair to our translators, because that means 100,000 welcomes in the Highlands and Islands in Gaelic, which is our indigenous language in the region. Just a very quick few words about our university, because it is a different kind of model, and I wanted to give you a little bit of understanding on that. I've got some publicity material, if anyone's particularly interested, speak to me afterwards and I can give you leaflets. But just to give you a bit of the context, particularly in how we're working with our colleagues from Highland Council on this, just doing a double act here. Just to let you know that, and stress that UHI, the University of the Highlands and Islands, is a different kind of university. It was officially granted university title in 2011, so we're still very new, the UK's newest university. It's built on a partnership model comprising the whole of the Highlands and Islands, that large area that we were talking about. It's a new model, but designed around what the needs of the region are, including the key city of Inverness that we were just talking about here, but making sure that we have new access to university-level education across the whole of the Highlands and Islands, not just the most populated areas there. On to the next one. There are 13 partners in our UHI network, which covers all of post-school education. These partners include a range of further education colleges, looking at vocational basic skills levels provision, some of the specialist colleges, for example, our Gaelic College, there's a theological college, and a fisheries college involved there, and specialist research institutions, for example, the Scottish Association for Marine Science, where they undertake world-class research on the marine environment. We've also got a network of over 100 outreach learning centres, meaning that access to education includes some of the very remote island communities and some of the most inaccessible parts of the mainland of the UK as well. I want to just quickly stress that we use technology to link up these partners and to link up the outreach centres, but we are not exclusively operating through online provision. We use blended learning, which is a mixture of looking at online resources and face-to-face education, and using the technology to best link people up. So, in summary, we come together through these 13 partners to provide post-school education right the way from basic skills up to undergraduate and postgraduate. You've got a map there showing the area that we cover. We've got the big dots. These are our 13 academic partners, and you can see it does cover such a huge part, over half of the landmass of Scotland. Before 2011, there was no university in that huge area, based in that huge area. So you can imagine the economic impact on businesses, on research and development and innovation, and so much of our young people had to leave the area, myself included. I grew up in Inverness. We had previously to leave the area to access university, but so many did not come back. Can I just point out as well, if I may, just me, water. College is in the centre of what we're doing there, and my colleagues have just talked about the campus development there. You've got just a couple of slides there showing how we do work together to bring together benefits to all across the Highlands and Islands, all the businesses, communities and individuals. That's a picture of the Scottish Association for Marine Science, and there we have the Gaelic village Song on the Isle of Skye. Not all that different to some of the scenery we saw yesterday. Just in closing, we're very much built around partnership. That's a key factor to what we do and how we come about at all levels. Our EU partnership and engagement has been hugely important to us. Yes, in terms of funding, and Jeff will say a word about that, but also in terms of the strategy and policy development there. We've learned so much from the networks of European partners we've been involved in, from the University of the Arctic Network down to the UHI, which I think some of you might be partners in, the European Mediterranean Universities Network. We've done a lot of inter-ed work. We've developed and shared a lot of expertise on the provision of higher education in rural areas there, and the use of technology and pedagogy, and the social, economic and cultural impact that has on our regions. We're very keen to develop that further, to learn from experience elsewhere, and to share what we've learned along the way. But of course, our more local partnerships, for example with Island Council, are as important to us. And that's why we're delighted to be here with our colleagues from the Council here, particularly looking at Inverness city development and shared aids, which we're going to be following up on. And I'll just turn to Jeff Howard, who's our Vice Principal for Enterprise at UHI, to summarise some of these.
Okay, thanks for that. It's great to be here. And just want to say a few things about UHI. Of course, our mission is to take education to the people rather than take people to the education, so that we can support an enormous region the size of Belgium, but with a population the size of Brussels. We're probably still Europe's newest university, and we view ourselves as the key driver for change in that whole region, cultural, social and economic. It's not been an easy project. We've been 20 years in the making, although we've only been in university for maybe 3 years. I would estimate something like €500 million have been invested in UHI by people like Highland Council, the local regional development agency, Highlands and Islands Enterprise, Scottish Government, and an incredible amount of money from the European Commission, especially the structural funds. And that's made us what we are, studying our education, our research, our campuses, our information technology, our staff and our students. And our mission is to support hundreds of remote and fragile communities around that region, but also to make our own contribution to establishing Inverness as a thriving, globally connected rural city, which has got all kinds of meaning for us. We're very used to international partnerships. We've got partnerships with Corsica, with Iceland, with Catalonia, with Oulu in Finland, all kinds of different places that UHI has developed international partnerships with. We also have very deep partnerships with Highland Council and 6 other local authorities. Indeed, we're actually part owned by 2 local authorities around the region. So we have very close connections. But we are extremely interested in the opportunities today, if you like, of a joint partnership between universities and local governments with other like-minded cities and regions, because there's tremendous potential in working together, both between academia and local government, and with similar arrangements in other cities. So we're open for business and we'll be very keen to speak.